Unamdi was a man known across his village for his wealth and ambition. His barns were full, his cocoa trade flourished, and his compound stood like a fortress on the edge of the town. From childhood, he had heard the elders say, "A man's greatness is measured by the strength of his household." So when he married Obiageli, a woman both beautiful and hardworking, he believed he had begun the path to greatness. Obiageli gave him children, laughter, and peace. She managed the home with diligence, cooked soups that made visitors lick their fingers, and supported his trade with energy. For years, their life was smooth, and many envied Unamdi's good fortune. But whispers began to reach him. At the palm wine tap, men teased, "Unamdi, are you satisfied with only one wife? With your wealth, why not prove yourself with another? Are you afraid Obiageli has tied you with charms?" Pride pricked him like thorns. He feared being mocked as a man of small ambition. So when he met Kioma, a graceful young woman from a neighboring village, he decided to take her as his second wife. She was soft-spoken, her beauty fresh like morning dew, and her presence seemed to promise gentleness. The wedding feast was grand. Drums beat, dancers stamped the ground, and people praised Unamdi for expanding his household. But from the first week, the skies over his compound darkened. Obiageli, proud of her position as the first wife, saw Kioma's arrival as an insult. "After all my years of labor, Unamdi, you bring this girl to compete with me?" She shouted one evening. Kioma, though younger, was not timid. She answered back boldly, "I did not bring myself here. Your husband chose me. If you are angry, face him, not me." From that day, their quarrels became the rhythm of the household. Who would cook the evening meal? Who would fetch water? Who had the right to sit beside Unamdi at gatherings? Every small matter became a battle. The compound, once filled with peace, now echoed with insults, clattering pots, and weeping children. At first, Unamdi tried to be the peacemaker. "You are both my wives," he pleaded. "Why can't you live as sisters? My wealth is enough for everyone." But his words were like oil poured on fire. The more he spoke, the hotter the quarrels grew. One night, Obiageli accused Kioma of stealing her mother's beads. Kioma swore by her ancestors she had not touched them. The quarrel flared into violence. Obiageli grabbed a pestle. Kioma seized a kitchen knife, and the two women lunged at each other like warriors. In his panic, Unamdi rushed between them, and the knife grazed his arm. Blood streamed down. He roared in pain, his voice echoing through the compound. "Are you trying to kill me? Is this what I gain from feeding and sheltering you?" The wives froze, shaken by the sight of his blood, but the damage was done. From that day, peace vanished completely. Each woman turned the children against the other, whispering poison into young ears. Obiageli sometimes poured away Kioma's stew out of spite. Kioma once hid Obiageli's best wrapper. Neighbors avoided passing by the compound, for it was now a marketplace of quarrels. For Unamdi, home became a place of dread. He longed for the quiet laughter he once shared with Obiageli. But now, the moment he stepped through the gate, accusations and complaints rained on him. Even his cocoa business suffered, for his mind was never at rest. He sat in meetings distracted, forgetting figures, losing deals. One evening, after another day of bitter fighting, Unamdi sat alone under the moonlight. His bandaged arm throbbed and his chest felt heavy. He thought of the years when his house had been peaceful, when Obiageli alone managed the home with love. He thought of the foolish pride that had led him to take another wife, not out of need but out of vanity. "Foolish man," he muttered. "You sought honor among men, but you bought disgrace for yourself. You wanted 2 crowns, but you placed a sword on your own head." Though he never sent either wife away, his pride melted like wax in the sun. Whenever other men praised polygamy, he laughed bitterly. "Do not envy me," he told them. 2 wives are not wealth. They are a burden unless peace lives among them. If you cannot manage one household in peace, do not build another. The quarrels in his home never fully ceased, but the man himself changed. He no longer boasted of his household, instead he warned others of its dangers. Parents began to use his story as a lesson for their sons. "Remember, Unamdi, before you marry 2 wives. A man who cannot rest in one house should not build 2. Pride can turn sweetness into bitterness." And so, though his barns remained full and his compound large, Unamdi lived with an emptiness that wealth could not cure. The regret of a man who destroyed his own peace with his hands.